The more I think about this, the more I think that this is the counterfactual that matters and that we should be talking about, and that people need to understand that the FDA probably cost thousands and maybe tens or even hundreds of thousands of Americans their lives, because they delayed the rollout of the vaccine. And they did it in a bunch of ways, but I'm going to talk about just two that I think are the most obvious. And so the Pfizer vaccine was submitted for approval on, I believe it was November 20th of 2020. And it wasn't approved until December, I think it was 10th or 11th. So that's 2.5, 3 weeks, right? Not a gigantic amount of time.
Yeah.
But not a trivial amount of time either, especially when what happened starting right around Thanksgiving was we entered the deadliest phase of the pandemic. From Thanksgiving through about the beginning of March or so, we had a huge surge in cases and deaths all over the country. And so what if the FDA had done what they did in the UK? So again, not something that's crazy and like impossible to pull off, not something that no first world country would ever try, just what they did in the UK, and had rolling review of the documents and simply had approved the vaccine the day that the application was submitted. This was a real possibility, and the FDA chose not to. They knew what they were doing and they chose not to, and they did it for two reasons, as far as I understand. One is the best reason, and I don't think it's a good one, but the best reason is they felt like if they didn't put on a show, and again, goes back to the kind of noble lie thing, they didn't put on a show of really going through the documentation and looking at it seriously and, making sure that it was all correct, then they might increase vaccine hesitancy.